Hey everybody, it's Adawa from my gaming addiction, and 3 years ago I stopped playing Ark Survival Evolved and I started to play Rust. Well, 2,000 hours of experience in Ark were left behind until 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago I really got into playing Ark again. My kids love watching it on my computer, and we're even playing it on Ark Mobile as well together, as well as an after-school event. As a teacher, I host that. Really fun. So right here I'm going to showcase a location that has been shown in different videos. It's at 59.7, 43.8, roughly around here. And you'll know where we are if you notice a few things. So we're in the swamp area, right near the green obby. And there's this beautiful waterfall system. And it's near the crouch cave that's considered to be one of the best places to build. So you know this area right here. Well, we're just playing with building a base at this smaller waterfall, just to the left of it as you approach towards the obby like this. All right, so that's where we're going to be building inside here. So why should you build here? Well, essentially it's a bunker that only you can enter, and you can exit easily, and the only way this is going to get raided is if people enter through the very long swamp puzzle cave. It's very dangerous for them, and you know, you're a solo player, it's going to be a low reward for them. You know, psychologically, that's what you want them to think, right? So check out this build. So early game, you can get here just with a Pteranodon, easy. And put down a pillar to claim the area, whatever tier you can afford. Right here, we're going to want to actually line up a foundation right against this pillar right here, okay? And we're going to want to make sure we do that carefully. We're going to want to make sure that, you know, if it's in metal, you can really see where it's lined up, or even wood, right? That looks pretty good, all right? And we're going to want to line that up and move this forward here, just moving forward. We're going to either place it right here, okay? Or you can place it like this for a higher foundation. You're going to want a high foundation, and eventually we're going to lower everything inside down to lower foundation height. So let's place that just like that and show you what it looks like on the inside. So on the inside, we have this impenetrable wall. The only way to get in here is to go through a cave puzzle system, which we will show how to do that. But once you get to the end of the puzzle, you cannot get out unless you push this button.
Or use this as, I guess you want to call it maybe a trick, or say
exploit? Well, maybe it's an exploit. But right here we have a foundation, and over here we're going to mirror that just by snapping it to this foundation here. I do want to point out that you can actually place foundations in here at this lower height right here, no problem. But we really want to keep things lined up nicely, and we want to start off with a really high foundation. So that's why we're going to use the terrain out there. It's also going to allow us to claim the area, and also even we could bury a bed underneath foundations out there as well. So I'll show you how to build in here, and then we'll show you how to get here. All right, so first of all, you're going to want to put down a foundation at this height. It's really tall, okay, and we like that. That's good. So in Thatch, just work your way back towards the back of this area, and we're going to just put kind of like a placeholder for us, okay? We're going to work all the way back here, put a placeholder for later on. You can see everything's lined up really nicely because of that first foundation that we put in. All right, and this is going to go really good right here and over here. So we have this really high foundation, looks good, and you know, temporarily we can put metal or stone or whatever you want, and we're just going to temporarily put a bed, all right, maybe two or whatever. Okay, we'll come back to this later on, but for now you can either leave these thatch or destroy them. All right, because of the orientation, remember when we were out here, we placed that foundation in this orientation, looking in this way? We did that on purpose, okay? So we did that so that we can actually drop these foundations, and we're gonna do that right now. So right here, we're going to start in the middle, then one on the side at the lower snap point. Just wait for it to snap or cycle through on the Q button, and make sure it's always getting lower. Okay, so we're going 5 pillars out. So you can consider this to be a normal right in the middle, right here, right? You could offset things like this. We don't want that. So let's consider this to be normal, not normal, not normal. We're going to want to use a normal height, not in height, but distance right there. Okay, we can destroy these or pick them up. And if you're worried about this guy, don't worry, because you have that higher foundation over there as a reference point for your original height. All right, next we're going to place down a lower foundation. Okay, and you can see this is pretty low. We could go even lower if you want. We could do that. To do that, just basically repeat the process. So we're going to come right here, and we don't want to go that much lower, but just in case you wanted to, you can see that option is available. We're happy with this height that we had, right? So we came down by 5 pillars, and now we are going to fill in our area over here. And make sure you don't lose this higher height. That is sacred. Don't break that, all right? And we can see right here, we can actually place these over here, which is perfect. We're going to use those later on for when we need to build around the corner going down the stairs. So, depending on where you want your bed, place down the foundation where your bed's going to go. All right, I'm going to put mine right here, and I'm going to build this in metal. And I'm going to put down my beds, place this here, and place down at least, however many you're going to want in order to defend a raid. Okay, and then the next part here, if you're an experienced ARC player, I don't know if I qualify as experienced anymore, a 3-year break, but now we've just protected these beds, and we can actually still fast travel through these beds if we wanted to, but yeah, we don't really need this guy anymore, so that's going to go. But this higher foundation we can leave right now. It's in case we ever wanted to, pick this up and rename beds or whatever. We have that option. Okay, but if you're annoyed by this, you can move the reference of the higher foundation somewhere else. All right. When you are able to, you can, just use stone or whatever material you want in here. Obviously, I'm on creative mode, so I'm just going to do this in metal. And over in this area is a great spot to put a industrial forge when you have the engram for that. And what's really lovely about all of this right here, okay, is that we're going to be able to take our time getting in and out of our base. It's going to be very low stress for us, and we're going to have the reassurance that most of our stuff is going to be safe as long as people don't trouble their way up through the cave puzzle. So. Right here, you can easily put in an industrial forge, and that can go in whatever orientation you need it to be. But yeah, let's wall this in a little bit. I'm going to say that in terms of walls, you're going to want to have at least some space for a Pteranodon to rest when you come in, where no one can actually see the heights. Just perfect, right? It's great. So you're going to want to have basically an area where you can come in and relax for a moment, and put basically this on top of here. I'm going quickly here, guys, but you can see this is out of alignment. You can just cycle through if you wanted to place that more nicely here. But what this is going to be is kind of like a little bit of an airlock, all right? Because we have our button right here, all right? So there's your airlock. Put on your doors, right? Open this up, close this door, and you can come out. And then we're basically set out here. We just need to have a sleeping bag. So we'll just do that right now. Or we could sink some beds in either option. And with this higher foundation right here, you don't have to be limited to that. You can, do lower foundations here in like stone or whatever. And you could do some higher foundations as you need in order to close this up. And we're going to want to clip it so that people cannot fly over it, and we can just put in some walls right here. We can mix it up with materials to make it look like you're poor. All right, so to get your dinos in here and all of your precious loot, you're going to come in and you're going to go and close that gateway. Take a moment to breathe, and you're just going to fast travel. So make sure you fast travel to one of the beds that are named properly, like inside puzzle, and you're going to spawn inside and run past all of your awesome, amazing, secure loot. And you're going to go over here collect your little drop bag. Like this. Okay? Easy. And, you know, in terms of building inside here, it's really up to your imagination, but I will mention a few things that basically, because of the traps down below, this section right here is often where the bats will spawn, right in here, if you trigger one of the pressure plates down below. Oops! So, as you can see right now, some bats have been spawned inside the base. What level it is? Level 140. So, that's why you don't want to keep tames up in the front here, but just have things separated off with these gates. Alright, I won't go into too much detail about where to place things, that's totally up to you, but I want to talk about these foundations right here. So these foundations are really helpful. We can actually build, oh, I think I need some more over here in order to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So right here, place these against the wall, and you're going to get some very important snap points over here. So I actually can't see it right now, but if you look with a pillar, where's my pillar? Give me a pillar. So this pillar can come down just like this and right into the ground, causing us to be able to actually place foundations. We can't right here, right? But if we look right here now, we can, okay? So that's great. Another thing we could do is extend this to build foundations right here if you want, but you can put your turrets down here, and you can actually extend everything all the way down these steps along the walls right here, like this, and it's like this. You can see what I'm doing, and you can make your way all the way down along this wall here, right? Don't mind the pressure plates. And you can actually build all the way down into the cave system right here. Look at that. Love that. All right, so in fact, if you open this up, I wonder if you could actually block people to access this button right here. Suppose you could. You could actually make this available just to you, so that you don't even have people getting past this point until they bring C4 with them. And actually, you could actually have turrets right here, right? Just really delaying people's progress. You know, there's nothing stopping people from exiting the cave the way they came, so I don't think this is game breaking in terms of their experience, but it just gives you a bunker style base. So, let's not go into any more detail about building down here. You can imagine putting some turrets, etc. Let's move on to another part of the video. Oops. Let's talk about these pressure plates, right? If you trigger all this, you can see these guys spawn. You'll notice up here where they spawn. You can hear the Titan boa. Let's see where they've spawned. Why did those walls there? We've got a Titan boa in this area, and we have bats over here. Okay. Notice where we don't have bats. It's in this front lobby area. We don't have anyone right here. Okay. All right. So you can see the obelisk right there, and you can see our cave exit right over here. You're going to want to bring a baryonyx or a bezel buffo, The Beazle Buffo is great for most of the journey, except it's going to get stuck at the end. It won't be able to get past some pillars. So unless you have cryopods, I would suggest that you get a baryonyx. So the baryonyx is skinny enough to fit through the entire maze, and that's going to be exactly what you want. But worst case scenario, just get a Beazle Buffo and swim down and fight your way up. So if you have a Pteranodon, get onto that Pteranodon and fly in this way. Alright, you can see the obelisk right there. Get onto your Pteranodon and you're going to fly up, over the swamp, over this hill, right to these 4 rocks right there. So as you can see, we're basically just going from right here, and we're going right there. Really straightforward, up to these 4 rocks. Okay, and then you're going to want to get onto your baryonyx. Come here, guy. Alright. And we're going to swim down. When you're down here, there's only one way to get in. It's this way. The other way is just a dead end. Okay, fight your way past the piranhas. They're going to be fighting you. You're not in admin mode here. Alright, let's turn the gamma up. As you enter, you'll be attacked by arthropluria, bats, and other insects like scorpions. On the left side here, there's just a small room with some resources. You could go straight through the water, but a little bit more simple is just go to the right here, and you'll see where the water comes up. That's where the water would come up. We're just going to turn left right here. And as we enter into this maze, we're going to want to pay attention to little tiles called pressure plates. So you can see them right there. There's one. This is the first one we're going to encounter. I'll show you what happens when we step on it. Spawn the bat. Might spawn some other titan boas or scorpions, whoever you say. Alright, enough of that. Let's do something here. We're going to actually make this guy not too heavy. So that's our first pressure plate right there. Instead of going right, which is possible, we're just going to go left. So that's pressure plate number 1. Number 2. Sticking to the left. Sticking to the left. Almost no pressure plates, but we've got these darts right here. You go on this side, you'll get hit. If you avoid the blood and go right next to where they come out, you don't get hit. Alright, bring some stimulant if you get hit too much. There's our third pressure plate. Up the stairs we go, to the left. So left, left, left. Up to the top here, the next option for going left or right. Well, don't go right. Go left, but then go right. Right here. We'll go over here. There's our fourth pressure plate. And through here, you can go left or right. They get to the same spot. On the right, there's no pressure plates. As you can see, it just comes around here. Right underneath there, there's a hidden pressure plate. Pressure plate number 5, is it? No matter what, if you try to jump over it, it's going to most likely spawn the bats or whatever. Go over that, attack whatever gets spawned, spiral up these stairs, keep going, and you're at the entrance right here. So to get in, there's the button, and you're almost done. Alright, I'm going to go up these stairs, and we have pressure plate number 6. Okay, just avoid it. Go all the way to the left here, and come through. There's another 2, a total of 3 in this room. And the Beazle Buffo just can't get through this area right here. So don't step on these, because they're going to spawn things up in your base. You don't want that to happen. And potentially you're going to want to actually cover that with as much material as you can, so that you never step on it and raiders can't easily annoy you with that. So that's how you get into the base, and once you're up here, put down a bed and start building. Well, what'd you think? This is a sweet little spot, isn't it? I want to show you one more thing about this location, which is down below. You've got this awesome cave. Yes, cave damage, but it has a lot of resources. It's got obsidian, crystal, and a bunch of metal. So put down some pillars here, and maybe put some T-Rexes down here for storage if you're not using cryopods yet. And just enjoy. This is a really great location, especially for a solo player, maybe a duo, and you should check it out. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time.